This is Channel 8 WMTW, Maine's total weather news coverage starts right now.
And right now at 4:30 this morning, the nation is mourning the victims of the deadliest shooting in modern American history. Overnight tributes all across the country.
On your left, New York's One World Trade Center lit with a single orange band in honor of the victims. And you see on the right a waving American flag projected on Las Vegas's City Hall. And in Maine this morning, flags are flying at half-staff. Governor Paul LePage calling what happened in Las Vegas a senseless shooting and a tragedy. We do have total coverage of the aftermath of the Las Vegas massacre for you this morning. Good morning, I'm David Charnes. And good morning, I'm Christina Frank. It is Tuesday, October 3rd. Now, here's what we know right now. 59 people are dead, 527 others are hurt, and what has become the deadliest mass shooting in modern U.S. history. 64-year-old Stephen Paddock from Nevada fired into a crowd of people at a country music festival from the 32nd floor of a hotel across the street. Officers found 23 firearms in his hotel room and 19 at his home. ISIS claimed responsibility, saying the gunman was a soldier who had converted to Islam months ago. ISIS did not provide any evidence to support that claim. The FBI says there is no connection. We now know at least 2 of the people killed are from New England. 35-year-old Sandy Casey grew up in Dorset, Vermont, and moved to California in 2004. She was a special ed teacher who got engaged last April. Her fiance describes placing a finger inside her bullet wound to try and stop the bleeding. There's also Rhonda LaRoque, a 42-year-old mother from Tewksbury, Massachusetts. She died right next to her husband. Her family is absolutely heartbroken.
This person went out and killed so many people that he didn't know for no reason. It just doesn't make sense. If you have psychological problems, get help. If you have problems with someone, don't take it out on everybody, because this is what happens.
LaRoque's father-in-law and daughter were also at that concert. Her father-in-law had just taken her daughter back to their hotel before that gunfire erupted. This morning, several Mainers who were in Las Vegas at the time are safe, but we're still waiting to hear about friends. A woman from Alfred and her family survived, but her friends were shot. Former State Representative Andrew Mason was also in Vegas for a conference. He is safe. And if you're waiting to hear from loved ones, you should call the number on your screen. It's also scrolling at the bottom of your screen right now with updated information as soon as it comes in. Facebook has also set up a crisis response page so you can see all the people who have marked themselves as safe. It is 4:32, an eerie feeling in Vegas this morning, now just about 24 hours after the shooting. Life far from back to normal. Vicki Gonzalez from our sister station KCRA is along the Vegas Strip with a look at the feel of the city this morning.
Are open, and in some ways the Las Vegas Strip is operating like normal, but this portion of Las Vegas Boulevard is still a crime scene as police scour through evidence trying to find a motive. We did meet with some survivors. Brian Hopkins is still wearing the same clothes from the Route 91 Harvest Festival, standing in the front row with his bandmate Ben Carey when a beautiful experience erupted into escaping for their lives.
And we're running, and all we see is a body, a body, a body, and the fourth body is a guy with shot in the gut, and his friends are trying to resuscitate him as he's laying there on the ground.
Both are now survivors, telling us when they realized gunfire was coming from 32 stories above them, that's when they realized their lives truly came down to random chance. In Las Vegas, I'm Vicki Gonzalez. Back to you.
Boston officials reminding the city of its strong security in response to the Las Vegas massacre. City leaders say they implemented stronger safety measures since the Boston Marathon bombing. Mayor Marty Walsh says Bostonians should not be paralyzed by fear.
I think our world's changed completely, and it's sad because, but we also can't stay in the home. We have to go out. We have to be strong and diligent in protecting our freedoms.
Walsh says police are on high alert at all times and assessing risks at all major events.
We woke up to this, and this brought us back to what happened that night.
This morning, the survivors of what is now the second deadliest mass shooting in American history reaching out to the survivors of the Las Vegas massacre. The survivors of the Orlando nightclub shooting gathering at the Pulse Memorial yesterday as news of what happened in Las Vegas spread. They say they want to offer support to the survivors just like they once received from the Boston Marathon survivors.
It's really hard to sit down with somebody who says that I understand what you're going through when they don't. So it was easier when the Boston people came and said we understand, because they did understand.
And I want them to know they're not alone. We're here for them and we can support them on anything they want.
Some of those survivors say they plan to reach out to therapists and then make their way to Las Vegas to help.
President Trump says he'll travel to Las Vegas tomorrow. So far, the president has pushed a message of unity, saying we must remember that love binds us together. Some lawmakers are calling for more gun control following the shooting. So far, President Trump has not addressed those talks. That brings us to today's question of the day now poll. Should lawmakers address gun violence in the wake of Las Vegas? You can vote right now on our Facebook page, Twitter, and in the Now Poll section on the WMTW app.
Stay on top of any new developments on the Las Vegas massacre by downloading the WMTW News 8 app. Plus, hear from the brother of the gunman. Our app is free for your smartphone or tablet. Make sure to turn push notifications on.
Right now it is 4:36 and turning to weather right now as we check in with Ted, and a welcome sign in Bridgeton for you guys.
Yeah, it's always nice to get a weather at your school and a welcome sign, and it's you show up at the school at 4:15 in the morning. It's a nice little thing to have there. We're in Bridgeton today. We'll join meteorologist Mallory Brook in a little bit, and we do have some rain to talk about for early Thursday morning. We'll talk all about that in just a few minutes.
Ted, thank you. 4:37, breaking overnight. Rock and roll legend Tom Petty has died. The 66-year-old died last night at a Los Angeles hospital after he suffered cardiac arrest. It was initially reported Petty died earlier on Monday, but those reports were retracted. His spokeswoman confirmed his death overnight, saying he was surrounded by family, friends, and bandmates.
4:37 on this Tuesday morning. Happening now, police in South Portland looking for a driver after a series of events that left one woman in the hospital.
WMTW News 8's Joe Glauber is live at the police station this morning with a look at what led to those two back-to-back crashes. Good morning, Joe.
This morning, South Portland police are searching for the driver who left the scene after a series of crashes. The whole thing started on Cummings Road. A driver was driving down that road when a moose walked out into the roadway, and the driver struck that moose with their car. Now, a woman in her 50s was walking by and saw the crash, so she came over to help. That's when police say she was hit by another car that was passing on Cummings Road, but the driver of that car sped away. So that's who police are looking for this morning. They haven't released any descriptions or information on that vehicle so far this morning as they continue their investigation. Now, that woman was taken to the hospital, but police say she suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Live in South Portland, Joe Glauber, WMTW News 8.
The Maine Warden Service is searching for two men suspected of shooting another man during a hunting incident. They say it happened early yesterday morning off Mosier Road in Gorham. Wardens say this type of truck is what they took off in. The two men reportedly shot a man in the face with birdshot. He is expected to be okay.
Today, the state could get their chance to cross-examine the Abbott man accused of killing his girlfriend. Police say Robert Burton shot Stephanie Gibo in 2015. Yesterday, Burton took the stand to talk about his relationship with Gibo. The jury could begin deliberations as soon as tomorrow.
A judge declares a mistrial in the case of a Wilton man accused of shooting and killing a man outside his home. In June 2016, police say Timothy Danforth shot and killed Michael Rice. They say the two men were fighting, which led to Rice being shot. The jury was deadlocked and could not reach a verdict.
The driver in a crash that killed a popular science teacher at Lake Region Middle School will spend 6 years in prison. A judge sentenced Joshua McNally yesterday. McNally was driving a produce truck on Route 302 in Casco last year when police say he drifted into oncoming traffic, hitting Adam Perrin. Perrin died at the scene.
This didn't need to happen, and I would hate for it to happen to anyone else. That being said, I know it probably will, but having stricter sentencing for those crimes, I think, makes it more serious.
The judge said too many people still drive distracted regardless of laws.
4:40, and today President Trump will visit Puerto Rico to tour the damage caused by Hurricane Maria. He and First Lady Melania will get a private briefing on the relief efforts there. Then they'll meet with victims. The majority of Puerto Rico is without power right now after 2 weeks now after that storm. Federal authorities say some Puerto Ricans could be 10 months without power. And a woman from South Portland is now trying to help the people of her hometown in Puerto Rico. Lena Rodriguez moved to Maine about a year ago, and she says she is working with her boss, her union, and the mayor of her hometown to help get supplies to the storm-ravaged municipality where she grew up. After Hurricane Maria made landfall, it took more than a week for her to hear all her family members were safe.
When you see the pictures and the video for the news, it's crazy. You start to cry. When I received the call and I heard the voice of my mom, I started crying.
If you want to help her, you can find her contact information right on our website, WMTW.com.
Well, the first of 2 Red Cross teams from Maine is on its way to the U.S. Virgin Islands. The 5-person team left the Portland Jetport Monday morning to help in recovery from Hurricanes Irma and Maria. The teams will be there for 3 weeks in some very tough conditions. A team from Maine just returned from Georgia. A second left for Puerto Rico last week, and another team is on standby to go to the Caribbean.
Much more ahead this Tuesday morning. The former CEO of Equifax is set to testify before Congress today after that massive data breach. This as we learn even more people were affected, possibly affected by that breach. That is ahead in Total Tech right after Ted's exclusive 8-day forecast.
And a little bus stop shuffle going on this morning as we wake up on this chilly Tuesday. Meteorologist Mallory Brooke live at Stevensburg Elementary in Bridgeton. Had a lovely welcome here this morning and excited to be chatting with the kindergartners a bit later on. We'll have a look at that exclusive 8-day coming up.
Now, meteorologist Mallory Brooke and Ted McInerney bringing you Maine's total weather and your exclusive 8-day forecast.
All right, good Tuesday morning, everyone. We're starting off with a welcome wagon up there in Bridgeton. Mallory, that's a big sign. We get some good signs, but that's a good size sign there.
Yeah, the schools are up in the ante every week. A nice, lovely sign for us to come to early this morning here at Stevensburg Elementary in Bridgeton. It's right off 302 near the intersection of 302 and 117. And it's our first time here, so good to be here at the elementary school in Bridgeton. I'll be chatting with the kindergartners a little bit later on this morning, and a few of them going to also join us for the broadcast. It's a little chilly outside, I will say that. Those temperatures just about 40 degrees here in Bridgeton. You can definitely see your breath. It's a crystal clear sky. Definitely a little bit of a black hole. It's so dark out right now, except for the lights here at the school. So we are going to continue to see those temperatures likely drop over the next few hours. So around 40 for the bus stop here in Bridgeton. As you make your way toward recess, we'll be in the 60s, plenty of sunshine, and mid to upper 60s to finish out the day. Perfect fall days here, Ted, as you start off a little bit chilly, but you finish just warm enough that you don't need the jacket. And getting even warmer into tomorrow.
Yeah, getting a lot warmer tomorrow. I think it's pretty shocking to show you how cold it is out there. Mallory's already doing the bus stop shuffle. Only know what that bus stop shuffle is going to look like in January, right? It's always going to be cooler. All right, so out your door today is cool. Again, some spots cooler than 40 degrees, but tomorrow 48 in the morning. The day where it's going to be nice and warm in the morning, it's going to be Thursday morning, 58 degrees. Now, as we get into Friday, 52, Saturday, 48. A couple of days there where we could see some rain showers in the morning. Right now, it's 44 in Portland, 38 Auburn Lewiston, 37 in Sanford, 47 in Kittery. Heading up into the mountains, we're at 33 Eustis and 37 in Rumford, 32 freezing right now in Berlin, New Hampshire. And we're also at 35 in Rockland, 42 Booth Bay, and 40 in Augusta, all under clear skies thanks to this high pressure, and that's why we have not many clouds in the northeast. Our next system is out in the Midwest right now. Hey, look at this, by the way. Out in Montana, snowing pretty good right now. Southern Canada as well. So yeah, it's starting to change over in that area. As we watch this system, it will help us warm up for tomorrow, but also bring in rain chances tomorrow night into Thursday. So marine forecast today, water temperature 60, waves 2 to 3 feet, east winds shifting to the south, gusting up to 20 knots, so not too bad out there. Let's go over the next couple of days here. Again, today looking pretty good. That high pressure keeping most of the clouds out of here. Tonight should be another clear and cool night. Tomorrow looking beautiful during the afternoon as well, but much warmer. Temperatures getting closer to 80 in many spots. But as we head into Wednesday night, there comes a cold front. And as that pushes through, we're talking early in the morning hours, probably about the time you're watching right now, we'll see a couple of rain showers moving in, especially the mountains, weakening as it gets toward the coast, and then we actually clear out as we head toward the afternoon. So a nice day today, seasonable temperatures in the mid-60s. That just means it's an average day. Clear and cool tonight, a little bit breezy, 48 degrees. Here's a look at our exclusive 8-day forecast. Temperatures are coming in at right around 65 for today, 79 in Portland. A few spots might hit 80. Rain showers again overnight until Thursday morning, but then things improve. We do have quite a bit of rain chances kind of off and on as we start into Saturday into the long weekend. Guys?
Ted, thank you. 4:48 right now on this Tuesday morning. We have another look at the new information released overnight from Las Vegas. Investigators now say the gunman, Stephen Paddock, had 23 weapons in his hotel room when he opened fire on a country music festival. Officers found nearly 20 more weapons at his home just outside of Las Vegas. This morning, the death toll is at 59, with more than 500 others wounded. You can follow any new developments on WMTW.com and also inside the WMTW News 8 app.
4:49, and former Equifax CEO Richard Smith will testify before Congress today after that massive data breach. Equifax now saying an additional 2.5 million Americans may have been affected, bringing the total now to 145 million people. Some politicians have criticized the company for not keeping their security software up to date. Equifax faces several state and federal inquiries and class action lawsuits.
General Motors now plans to roll out 2 new electric vehicles over the next 18 months and a total of 20 by 2023. GM recently launched its first mass market electric vehicle, the Chevrolet Bolt EV. The electric mid-sized hatchback has a range of 238 miles per charge. It starts at around $36,000. Not all of GM's electric vehicles will use batteries. Some will use hydrogen gas instead. 4:50 as we're checking in again with Ted. Look at this fall look.
Yeah, we're looking at a beautiful fall photo coming on in. Thanks to Aaron who sent this one on in. A beautiful one up there near the South Arm campsite. That's a good look of the morning. And then the colors are going to really start to pop here coming up soon. We'll have updates on the fall foliage too. But if you got a good picture of some colors, send it on in to ulocal at WMTW.com. We'll be right back.
This morning, as you are headed out the door, just like we were chatting about yesterday, those temperatures going to be a few degrees cooler. You'll definitely want some layering going on before walking outside. Right now, 40 degrees here in Bridgeton. We're at Stevensbrook Elementary, where we will be chatting with the kindergartners a little bit later on this morning. They made us this beautiful welcome sign for us to come to so early this morning, and those temperatures thankfully will move up from where we are right now, eventually getting into the 70s, or I should say the 60s in most areas. 70s will be tomorrow, but mid to upper 60s as highs here in Bridgeton by the time we get to the midpoint in the afternoon. Of course, sunset getting earlier and earlier, so we're losing that warmth, the high temperature coming a little bit earlier, and we will be grabbing for at least some layers going into tomorrow morning, but the heat will be on, the relative heat, and going to feel a little bit better heading into the end of the week, but fall starting to take hold, Ted.
Yeah, definitely. I heard some people this weekend talking about doing some leaf peeping this weekend, and you know what? I think it might be starting to look pretty good, especially the further north you go. And if you're headed up toward the Rangeley Lakes area in the mid-50s, 61 at the mid-coast, Sevago Lake 62. The coastline's still a couple weeks away, or at least another week or so before it starts to really pop. But again, if you go leaf peeping, make sure you send us those pictures. We'd love to share it on Facebook or on our uLocal. Here's a look at apple picking. I'm just in the fall mood right now. I had some apple cider yesterday, and I'm still giddy. We're looking at 63 degrees in Lewiston, Auburn, 61 in Augusta, and nice and sunny. Here's a look at our exclusive 8-day. Again, it warms up tomorrow, close to 80. We have some chances for rain. I'll talk much more about this coming up, guys.
4:54 to Total Health, and more people are counting their steps thanks to the Fitbit craze. And if you're into those Fitbit challenges, some new research may be able to help you beat your friends. Here's ABC's Serena Marshall.
They are the popular high-tech fashion accessories of their time, those colorful plastic activity tracking bracelets and clips. Simply wearing one might be enough motivation to rack up those steps, but now new research suggests another solution to meeting that arbitrary 10,000-step goal. And you just might have a bit more fun doing it. It's called gamification. Researchers at the University of Pennsylvania randomly assigned 200 adults into two groups, one which simply set a step goal and tracked their steps, and another that turned their daily step goal into a game. A simple game that involved receiving and losing points as a family, points that translated into bronze, silver, gold, or platinum level. Reaching the highest level meant a coffee mug as a reward. What they found, this simple game appeared to motivate subjects to reach their daily step goals. Not only that, those who gamified were also more likely to reach their daily step goals for months after the game ended. So if you want to keep walking on the straight and narrow, you might want to start by playing some games. With this Medical Minute, I'm Serena Marshall, ABC News.
4:56, we continue to follow breaking news from Las Vegas. Next at 5, what experts say you should tell your kids about what happened and how to have a discussion about that violence.
And as people line up to donate blood, we have the other ways you can help the victims of the Las Vegas massacre and how you can help out right here at home. Our total coverage continues. Ted?
We're looking live outside in South Portland where we're in the mid-40s. It's a chilly one out there this morning. You might want to have that extra sweatshirt. You may not need it tomorrow. In fact, you won't. I'll let you know how warm it gets coming up next.